Welcome back. This is I Am with Eric Faria. Today I have Roberta Tachihara, and we are going to talk about some more of the realization process. And as I was talking, the first time that I did this with you during the pre-interview last week, I had a very profound experience. I remember you doing this with me on the internet. So that's how powerful it is. We weren't even in the same physical space. And I went back to when I was 5 years old. I really felt the palms of my hands. I felt like a bee was stinging me in the middle of my palms. And I remember an experience when I was 5 with my grandmother. And I felt a lot of sadness. It really felt like there was a lot of emotions that were repressed from that time. And I remember like this wanting to cry and to just let it all out, and to also at the same time hold on to that pain, to that suffering, to those emotions. But it gave me a huge insight, and we even talked after about the whole situation.
The whole situation.
And how I perceived it as a 5-year-old, and how I can perceive it now and
as
just,
an adult.
as an adult, and just let it, go through my body and through the emotions. So that's something that was really profound to me.
Yeah, I wanna comment. There are two very important aspects of this realization process, and I called my class the Self Awakens. And the reason, the self is in fact always here and it's pretty awakened, but we are not. We are holding to a lot of stuff, and most of the time we are not even conscious of what we are holding. But the body has somehow memorized something. And the two aspects I'm just going to mention them first, is the childhood and the organizations of the body. And the second part of it, it's now who is holding, who is saying no that still wants to hold something there. That's a very important aspect to understand, because it affects us now in the present moment in adult life, and people need to have a little bit more understanding of that, so they can also understand when they have such a strong will, or they make visualization boards, or they make all kinds of things to say affirmations every day, and still there is what they call self-sabotage. So people think that it's just if you repeat things are going to change, and I will say no. Fortunately, I have to say that it's deeper than that. So let's go first to talk about childhood issues. In the realization process, we also work with modern psychology, and that part is where we're going to work with wounds that we had when we were little. And when I say wounds, I'm not talking about just like something, and you have something really dramatic, but sometimes can be very subtle, even can be something small. But for the child, that was not small.
Yeah, it was huge.
For the child, they don't have the cognitive capacity, they don't have the mental understanding as an adult. So even if you take a scissor from a child, because it's dangerous, you're protecting them, they can take that as I cannot have what I want. And they can constrict tissues in the body for that. So normally, what I call organization of the body is we have conditioned ourselves to survive. It's wonderful. It worked because we are here. You are here, I'm here.
Yeah. No, as you were saying that, I took a deep breath, but yes, I felt it in my body.
So we really survived. We are here. So it was good. We found a way to survive everything that happened in our life that was overwhelming when we were little. But now, those things are not happening anymore, and we are still using the same protective system, the same defenses. And the way we do that is because it got memorized in the body, so the way we do is using again and again the same system, the same defense. And we are not aware of that, because most of that in the subconscious mind. So in the realization process, going through the body, like you just by being the scent of your hands more deeply, it brought you to a memory and emotions that were trapped in the body, and you're holding there for
I felt them
decades.
in my chest.
Even you're so young.
In my stomach,
Yeah, in your chest, in your stomach. So we don't want to hold those emotions anymore. It's time to get lighter, to get softened, to soften up, softer also. So to really release them. And that's why this process is very gentle, but very effective. And I say gentle because, that comes the second part, the mind of the child, that consciousness of the child is still there in the tissues of the body. So we have to go little by little, but with precision. It's very precise, the way we use the techniques to also open up space that are being closed. So very gentle, but efficient to go there, precise, to just little by little release. And sometimes when it's ready, it can release even a lot, and emotions can be released, and thought systems also, because beliefs are also trapped there. There's thoughts, there's a part of awareness that is also not the consciousness of your divine consciousness or fundamental consciousness, not permeating that. So there is still the consciousness of the child. And that's why I'm saying what I said before. You can do sometimes visualization, or you can do affirmations, and it doesn't work.
Right.
Where is the part that doesn't allow that to work? That's what I'm talking about. The subconscious mind still have that idea that I cannot have what I want, or this person is rejecting me, I'm not good enough. Or we have a list of those.
Yeah.
But then it's not just the idea of it, you feel in the body. So there are tissues in the body that we also open up. So we open tissues in the body, so physical sensation is present. And that also gives us a capacity to increase our capacity to feel pleasure also, and which is also beautiful. Emotions that we haven't been able to feel. And sometimes people, if they found a way to protect themselves against, hurtful emotions, negative emotions, fear, sadness, shame, then they close. And when they close their heart, they cannot access love. They cannot access joy. They cannot access compassion, tolerance, respect. So there are a lot of other feelings and emotions that they miss, and then life becomes very dull, very flat. We lose our humanness, I say. This process brings us to be a real human being with feelings, with emotions in the present moment. Also, when you release that from the past, so if something happened to your life now, you will feel from what is happening, not bringing the reaction of the conditioned self that is operating most of the time. That sometimes we behave like a children, like a child. I'm like, how come? But that's because that consciousness is still there, but doesn't need to be anymore. So this system really works with that so that you can open. So it opens in the space of the body and opens the emotions. And not only here, it opens emotions. You can have emotions everywhere in the body. And we can have constrictions all over also. And beliefs, awareness, thoughts that also are old-fashioned. It doesn't match with your way
who
of...
we are now.
Exactly, exactly,
Yeah, it's very interesting because I remembered as we were doing the exercise, and I just really felt like I was there. I was back to being 5 years old. I saw the whole situation. I heard her voice. I felt it all over my body. It was so interesting, to
almost
say the
bizarre.
least. Almost bizarre. I was going to say that. It was bizarre. But yeah.
Yeah, but because that consciousness is really alive still, and that's what we call the agent. The agent that is still operating in the subconscious mind, but it's bringing things to your life.
Right.
And but this, it can be released, and that's a very important step. The desire to clear, the desire to be who you really are, not the conditioned self.
Perfect. So this is a perfect stopping point. We will continue this conversation. So for everyone watching, stick with us. We will be back right after this.